The blue hedgehog is back collecting rings, chaos emeralds, and travelling through time and space. This is the Geeky Glasses review of Sonic Generations. Sonic Generations is the latest Sonic game to hit shelves of game stores everywhere, and with the last few games in the series being questionable at best, and some claiming that Sonic lost his way when he went to 3D, this title marks Sonic's 20th anniversary, and this needs to capture the eyes of fans everywhere and show them that T-Sonic can still make a good game. Promising a blend of both types of Sonic gameplay, the 2D side-scrolling platforming, and a 3D booster farm that caused many fans to lose faith in the series. Let's start with the game's plot. To be able to incorporate both styles of play into the game, they felt it wise to use both Sonic's 2D era, slightly plumper but thankfully more silent Sonic, and the 3D quickie catchphrase machine. To explain this, there's some plot about an evil demon cloud thing that's ripped some hole in space and time or something, and freezes Sonic's friends in a statue-like state.
We're traveling through time and space!
How did this happen?
I think it's got something to do with that big thing that just kidnapped Eggman.
The two Sonics have to work together to return them to normal. The plot is, well, throwaway, but at least the game seems to acknowledge that and pokes fun at itself quite a lot, so it makes the cutscenes kind of worth watching if you're a long-time Sonic fan, so you can watch it poke fun at itself. But on to what everyone else is here for: how does the game play?
Take a good look at yourself, Sonic.
Dr. Eggman?
It's the last look you'll get before I close your eyes forever.
Another Sonic? What? Wait a second!
I will start with the 2D Sonic first. Admittedly, I've never played much of the original Sonic games, at least when they were at the height of popularity. I've gone back once or twice to play them, and while their faster paced platforming was a nice change, I'm still more of a fan of Mario personally. This game may have changed my mind though. These 2D sections are really clever and have some pretty neat platforming puzzles from time to time, and even when you're zipping around loops, it has enough different pathways that if you can jump at the right time, you go to a different path. But if you don't spot it, you can carry along and continue on your way. This use of usually a higher, middle and lower path adds a lot of different ways to move through the levels, and adds a lot of replay value, not just to find the quickest route, but each way also includes collectibles in the form of red discs to find. The graphics work really well in these segments, while fleshing out Sonic and his environments a lot more to make the models 3D, the levels still do work on a side-to-side basis of the old games. Well, for the most part. There are sometimes, mainly on the levels taken from the 3D games, where it will try and incorporate some elements of the 3D. While brief can sometimes be a bit jarring and sometimes let the camera to get, well, a little stuck. Overall though, the 2D segments are very enjoyable and definitely holds up as a strong sign to show how good the older games were, which I think will be greatly appreciated by the older fans and show a great glimpse of the past to players who grew up in the 3D era. Speaking of the 3D sections, not much has changed in the mechanics of these sections. What I feel does help is the level design, with the main feature of this game being able to play through old levels from both new and old era. It's picked the levels which always worked well in 3D, such as the ones from Sonic Adventure, and it's cool to see these levels from old era style for 3D. I would say a lot of them are very good. Sonic's homing attack, as well as grinding and boosting, allows new ways to see these levels, which is very refreshing. As well as these levels, there are lots of challenges to complete, and completing a number of them is necessary to continue along in the game. Unfortunately, a lot of the 2D challenges are very similar to one another, resulting in either time trials against a ghost or traversing levels with a certain power-up like the invincibility or a bubble shield, for example. The 3D challenges are a lot more varied, however, with the inclusion of more mechanics of 3D Sonic. The game also has some classic boss fights reimagined for this new title and very enjoyable, once you figure out how to beat them all, that is. Overall, Sonic Generations in my opinion is a great game with lots of variety and fan service in the gameplay, and a lot of collectibles to find. Not only downsides come with a poor PC port and some minor camera niggles here and there, and for some reason your time trial skills are not pulled from the single player and you have to play on online mode if you wish to challenge your friends. This aside, go get the game even if your interest in Sonic is only a passing one, or if your trust in the franchise is being betrayed. This will give you confidence and enjoyment in it for many hours, I assure you of that.